Well, good Thursday afternoon, everybody. We're on the storm watch here in Bridgewater as we prepare for what could be our first significant winter storm of the season. Now, a few days ago, this looked like it might be a rainstorm, but that's why, as I've mentioned, you really have to wait till you get closer to the storm before you can really dive in. Now that the storm has made its way onto the lower 48, we've got some decent data coming into the models, and they are spitting out what could be a significant winter storm for us beginning Saturday night and lasting into Sunday. So as we look at the winter weather risk analysis here, we do have a slight risk for Friday morning. That's going to be a little bit of a precursor, an appetizer, if you will, as we have a little bit of light snow ending as some rain showers on Friday morning. That should not be a major deal. There could be a dusting to an inch or two here or there across the region, but nothing too significant. Saturday, we pump it up a bit to a slight risk. That's because during the day Saturday, we should be fine. So if you have plans Saturday morning into the afternoon, I think everything should be good to go into early Saturday evening. Even if you're thinking about heading out for a little dinner, you should be okay. It's really after 8 or 9 o'clock that the more significant snow starts to make its way in, and certainly by midnight, we're probably snowing closer to a rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Sunday, it's a high impact event, and that's again because we have the full kitchen sink coming at us. Not only will we have snow, but for a time, we may change over to a period of rain and also have some icing going on as well. That's our concern for Sunday. We'll dive into that a bit more in a moment. But first, we want to take a look at, again, our storm track here, which beginning on Sunday morning, the storm will be just off the Chesapeake Bay area, tracking to the south of New England. And as that happens, we will be bringing in some colder air draining down from eastern Canada. That'll be getting into the act. That'll be holding down our temperatures at the lower levels of the atmosphere. All the while, some warmer air tries to move up from the south, and I think it will for a time late Sunday morning into early afternoon. That's why we're talking about a mix or even some just plain old rain here in Bridgewater Sunday morning. But that's only part of the story because we have quite a thump of snowfall heading in. Before that, it's definitely cold enough to snow right now across the region. 29 degrees in Bridgewater, 26 in Boston. We're down to 17 already in Concord, New Hampshire, and 11 degrees in Bangor, Maine. That's important because that's the direction where our wind in our air is going to be coming from here over the next 24 to 36 hours. So we're going to be keeping an eye as that colder air dives down. Here's a look at the radar right now. You can see we do have that little bit of an appetizer heading towards our area with some light snow moving in this afternoon across parts of Indianapolis, moving over towards Cincinnati and Cleveland, Ohio. And again, some of that's going to make its way towards our area later tonight into tomorrow morning. But it looks like the low itself will probably try to track over to our north and west for this first system. So that'll leave us on the milder edge tomorrow morning. So again, I think we could see a dusting of snow here overnight that will probably end as a period of rain showers. But we do have a winter storm watch in effect right now. It is covering pretty much all of New York State, most of Massachusetts, all of Vermont, New Hampshire, and a good chunk of Maine. The rest of Maine will come into this later on this afternoon. You do notice that the extreme south coast here, getting down towards New Bedford, Fall River area, is not under that watch at the moment. That's because they'll probably have more of that mixing going on or even plain rain. So there'll probably be a winter weather advisory going up for the south coast and the Cape as we get closer. It's all in response to this area of low pressure that's right now starting to jump over the mountains here in the west. And tomorrow that'll make its way clearing the mountains. Then we'll get even better data on this system. But we do have two things going on right now. We have our jet stream to the north. We have our southern jet that's been more active, and as we've been mentioning during the course of the winter so far, these two jets have been staying away from each other. They really have not been getting involved in any major storms, and all of these storms to our south have been doing just that, staying to our south. But this particular system is a much stronger storm system, and it's got a lot more area to cover, so it probably will not be avoiding us this time around. However, there will be some colder air moving in from the north. So when will this all begin? This is a idea from the National Weather Service. They've got 7 p.m. as the start time here for Bridgewater, a little bit earlier off to our west. But again, it's going to take an hour or two for the snow to really get cranking here. I would say anytime after about 9 or 10 o'clock is when we will be seeing snowfall rates again coming down at 1 to 2 inches per hour. Now, early Sunday morning, we're going to start to transition to some other forms of precipitation. And you can see on this graphic here, as warm air moves in, especially in the upper levels, that snow can start to change to some sleet, some freezing rain, or just plain rainfall. And we have some interesting graphics to show you here. These are actually soundings. These are weather soundings for Bridgewater. This is what the models are predicting for Sunday. So we're going to start off here, and this is the sounding for 7 a.m. Sunday morning for right here, right outside the BTV studio. And you'll see we have an air temperature predicted to be 45 degrees at that time. It'll certainly be changing to rain if this model is correct. This is the parallel GFS. This is one of the American models. Of course, the European model is a bit cooler than this, so we'll have to monitor. But as we jump ahead through the day on Sunday, this next graphic here is going to give you early Sunday afternoon, just after lunchtime. Remember, Sunday morning we were somewhere over here. It was 45 degrees. Now we've dropped all the way down to 27 degrees at the surface. However, just above the surface, we're still above freezing. So what will happen is precipitation will be starting as all snow moving down through this column of air, but then it will warm right here and start to melt before it refreezes at the surface. That would give us sleet or freezing rain, and that'll be coming down pretty heavily on early Sunday afternoon. Then as we get later into the day, temperatures continue to drop, and we'll be looking at all snow again if this model is correct. Keep in mind this is Thursday afternoon. We still have probably about 40 to 60 hours here before the storm begins. So, we're going to have to monitor trends over the next 24 hours or so. But this is I believe the GFS model. Yes, so again, this is a look from the American model, and this comes in here. So this is going to be at 1 a.m. on Sunday. So let's give you an idea of where the storm will be at this point. Again, it's starting to move its way in towards Kentucky and North Carolina. At that point, we have our jet stream off to the north, and that's going to be pulling in some colder air. So as the storm makes its way towards New England, we're going to have a little bit of phasing. If these two jet streams phase dramatically, then much more warmer air will get wrapped into the system, and we would change to rain quicker. However, I think if we follow the trend, and remember the trend is your friend, the way the pattern has been going all through this winter, there has not been a lot of phasing. So I think there'll be enough to kind of get some colder air into the system, but probably not enough to totally change things over. So we're going to have a little bit of a wintry mix here on Sunday. All right, so what are we talking about for snow totals? We'll probably update this map on Friday, but this is to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what we're thinking. Again, Bridgewater is right about here, so we're right on that line between 3 to 6 and 6 to 9 inches of snow. That would be including some sleet, some freezing rain, and some ice. So it's a big giant goulash here, if you will, on Sunday of some wintry weather. But you'll notice there's not a far distance here when you go from 6 inches to over a foot. So again, looking at 48 hours at least before the system really approaches our region. There's still time to make adjustments, and we'll have to do that over the next 24 hours. I can tell you that anywhere we stay all snow, those areas are going to get clocked with well over a foot of snow. We're also going to have some gusty winds Sunday morning, so keep that in mind if you are in an area that's susceptible to power outages. How about after the storm? Well, that's the other story here. I can tell you that Monday morning is going to be absolutely miserably cold out there. Air temperatures probably in the single digits Monday morning, wind chills below zero, and anything that falls on Sunday will have frozen over solid Monday morning. So if you're going to be out there trying to shovel or trying to clear that ice from the sidewalks, forget about it. Monday morning, everything's just going to be a winter wonderland here. We do start to warm up a bit on Tuesday, and that warm air will be in response to another system that's going to be making its way across the country, and it's very possible that may bring us some more rain and snow here by Wednesday. And if you believe the long range models, there's a chance for another rather large storm to come in here by about a week from Friday. So now as we transition towards the second half of January, winter is starting to pick up, business is picking up, and we're going to be busy here. So we'll keep an eye on it. We'll have an updated accumulation map for you on Friday. For now, I'm Jeff Fowler. Enjoy your day.